This is fascinating. This is a game called Zero Tolerance. This is a first-person shooter for the Sega Genesis, which didn't get first-person shooters like this, that Doom, Wolfenstein 3D style shooter. We would get Doom on the 32X a little bit later, and there's also the Brazilian Duke Nukem 3D, but to have an actual, traditional first-person shooter on this hardware is really fascinating stuff. So we're going to hop into this game here. I am playing the re-release they put on the Switch, and what's really cool about this is that it comes with Zero Tolerance. It also has something called Zero Tolerance Underground, which is levels that were part of the Sega CD version of this game that never came out, and I think you need to kind of go digging for it, but I could have sworn I saw something that the Zero Tolerance 2, which got canceled, was going to be called Beyond Zero Tolerance. Some of those levels are on here as well, and I'll talk a little more about that there. And here we have the main story. Long story short, you're on a ship going to a place, big bad alien dudes, kill them all. That's it. So we're just going to hop on in real quick here. Another interesting thing about this game is that you play as different characters, and each character basically represents one of your lives, because if a character dies, that's that. Each character has their own starting weapons, their own kind of skills, their own backstories and portraits, which is great. Whenever you see gameplay for this online, it's almost always this character being played. They're playing as Ishii, mainly because she starts with a pistol and a bulletproof vest, and she has the best accuracy of a lot of the other characters in this game. So if you look at her ID, it says that she's a marksman. So there's a lot of stuff like that to keep track of what is their skills when you have to play as this character if a character you're playing eventually dies. Some characters will start with like a bioscanner, which allows them to see what enemies are on the map. Some can hit a little harder because there's also melee. Some characters can also have they have a meta pack. They get more health than other characters. So you can kind of play characters in different ways, which I really dig. But I want to keep with tradition, like every other video on this game, and we will be playing as Ishii because it's just great to play as someone with the accuracy there. And here we have Zero Tolerance. So the way this is going to work is this is your perspective. This is your screen for the whole game. And this is not uncommon for a lot of first-person shooters on like older hardware when it came to how do you get the best performance without the game running too slow. Now, in the case of Zero Tolerance, this still does kind of run a little slow. It doesn't have like the smoothest frame rate. But having all of this display, if I'm correct in my assumption, this was all done as a way to help give the game some identity and also to help give the game to have a more of a stable performance. But on the bottom, you can see we have our notifier there. We have a little voice. I actually think the voice sounds great every time she says something. I think it sounds really good. Your map in the middle of the screen, your character on the right, and you have your items that you can scroll through on the top. And when you pause the game, you can also get a full layout of the map. You can see where you are and what you haven't covered. There is no, the modern day stuff of like, oh, you've now covered this whole area. This game doesn't do that, so you kind of have to make sure you know where you're at. And where it says on top there, not secured, on the left you have a number that says 60. That's how many enemies are in any level at a time. This level has 60 monsters or aliens or bad guys, whatever. And if you kill every single bad guy, you will then get a password where it says not secured, and that is how you keep track of the game. But I am playing this on the Switch version, so I can kind of save where I want to save. But in the old Sega Genesis way, that's how you would get your password, which means, and this is something I find really interesting, you don't need to complete every single level. You don't need to fight every single monster. You can just book it for the next exit. So right there in the middle is the elevator. You hop in that elevator, you can just get to the level and get out. You don't have to fight every monster. But if you don't clear the whole level, you won't get the password. So you kind of have this element of, do I want to stay and fight, or do I just want to leave, not get my password, and hope the next level might go a little more in my favor, and then we'll worry about it then and get my password in the next level. I think that's really neat. I will always do my best to clear the whole level because that's just who I am. But it's really neat what this game can do. I think it has some fascinating ideas on hardware that is not most suitable for this. So controls wise, you have your shoot, and you also have a button that can do multiple things. Like you have your confirm, but that not only is a confirm button, if you are moving forward and hit it, you jump. When you're moving down and hit it, you will crouch. If you're just holding it, you can then strafe. So one button does all is kind of a big thing on here. And that strafe is going to be a godsend. So you kind of have to remember, this isn't like modern day shooters where you have an easier way to strafe. It's like old school, you got to hold a button in order to do a strafe. So yeah, something to keep in mind here. So on the map, when you see a red dot, that is where the enemy is coming from. There's also be a certain sound to let you know when an enemy is coming. This is not a game that I would recommend you go and rush head first into. Go slow. Think almost tactical. Because if you rush, these enemies are fast, and there's a lot of them. They will rush you, and if you get hit, they will knock you back. It is very easy for them to overwhelm you. So I find it best to just kind of go slowly, inch your way, and when you feel a little more confident, especially in some levels that aren't as wide open spaces, a little more corridor and hallway focused, run and gun, you got it. But with these particular levels, like you can see here, these a little more open spaces, kind of crawl your way, let them come to you. So we got 1, 2, got a red dot here. There we go. One thing I do like about this game is that it's just kind of bloody, and it's kind of cool to see a Sega Genesis game with this kind of level of violence. But if you shoot someone and they're close to a wall, it'll be blood splatter and then will drip off the wall, which is so, it's sick. Okay, strafe our way in. Ah, shit. Okay, down there, go to my pistol. Handgun collected. Handgun collected. Handgun collected. Good voice. Okay, I think that whole room is clear. Wonderful. Because I am playing as Ishii, I do start with the bulletproof vest, which is at 50% right now. This level's pretty generous with health. You just gotta remember where health is, so I know in this section is where I want to go to grab some health. This song is pretty much your whole lot soundtrack-wise. You don't really get much out of the soundtrack in this game. And that part there, that reminds me of a Megadeth song called Reckoning Day. It's the same. I just see the live footage of oh shoot, oh no, it's the force field. There was a bad guy there. Like the bass player of Megadeth, David Ellison, just going to town on the drum tom. But pretty much this is the song you're gonna get. So I hope you like the sound of the computer voice and the admittedly fantastic, crunchy sounding shotgun. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh, that's right, I'm hitting the wrong button. Oh boy. That was no one's fault but my own. I kept hitting the wrong button. Oops. I hit the item button when I meant to shoot. So when you hear a noise that, to me, it makes you think like a sound of like a door opening, it's probably not what they're intending. But to me, it sounds like the sound of a door opening and not this cool future sounding door, but like almost like a crunch sound. That's when you know an enemy has seen you. So see if I can get that sound going. Oh, there's a lot of it. Okay. Okay. You definitely heard it there. there goes all my armor.
Handgun collected. Handgun collected. Handgun collected.
Lots of health over here. That's really good.
Shotgun collected. Shotgun
There are 40 levels in this game, which was not uncommon for a lot of shooters of this ilk to have that, kind of these longer levels. Like Wolfenstein 3D started with 30, and then there was the Nocturnal missions, which was like an expansion pack, which gave you another 30 levels. So this is about normal length for a game of this style. Perfect. Oh god, I got him. I rounded the corner. That was actually really sick.
Handgun collected. Handgun.
Should have saw that guy coming. I don't want to get that health now because it gives you 20 and I don't want to waste it on just 8. Especially if I get my butt kicked a little more and I need a little extra health.
Handgun collected.
Oh, another big... See, another big empty space here. So this is one where you just kind of want to really take it slow. I think I'm going to swap to the handgun, though, just because, save on some... I normally get a lot of handgun ammo. Did I get that guy? I did. Okay. This is a game where if I got this game as a kid, like to have this kind of Wolfenstein-esque first-person shooter on my Genesis,
Handgun collected.
I would have been the happiest kid on the block. Like, this would have been the coolest game to have to me. I probably would have been scared by the enormity of this. Like, this feels massive to me since you can't see too far. And, you know, how fast the bad guys move. This would have scared me as a kid. There we go. But I would have loved this. Genuinely would have loved this. I always wanted to get games like this on any console I had, whether it was this, Super Nintendo, PlayStation. I just loved first-person shooters that play like the games that my dad had on his computer. So we, you know, grew up playing Doom, Wolfenstein, the Capstone classics, games like Corridor 7, Operation Body Count, to which I still, wherever my CD booklet is, I still have those old PC discs that my dad had, because those were just the games we played. So whenever I could find a game like this on a console, which is what I preferred playing on, especially after a certain while where our computer really wasn't playing newer games anymore, this would have been the coolest thing for me to get. And one of these days, I will be doing videos dedicated to Operation Body Count and Corridor 7. Those games are just fascinating to me, and I love the music in them. Like, oh my god, do I love the music in those games. But when we talk about Sega Genesis games that were first-person shooters, again, we didn't really have any. The main ones we had were like Doom on the 32X, and as I mentioned, a Duke Nukem 3D, but that was only released in Brazil through Tectoy. And Tectoy, if I'm correct, it kind of had a deal with Sega, which they can still release stuff in Brazil because of how a lot of the Brazilian gaming market at the time, like the Sega Master System, Sega stuff in general was like the main, main focus of gaming at that time. To go into a little more details about this, I highly recommend a YouTube channel named Stop Skeletons from Fighting, and they did this big breakdown on a console that was meant for Brazilian audiences named the Zibo, and they go into a lot of detail about that. They go into the history of how a lot of the Brazilian gaming scene is like, what the gray market of gaming in Brazil is like. You can get a lot more details there, and that kind of fills in some of the blanks in regards to how we got something like a Duke Nukem for Brazil on a Sega Genesis way after the Sega Genesis had already been released. Oh, you see the blood dripping off the wall. That's so sick. I will say, I think the first 2 levels in this game are some of the harder levels, because everything is big and open and you kind of can't really run away. I mean, technically you can. You can leave. You can run away from any level you want. But if you do want to go headfirst into battle, this is really tough. Like if I was making this game, I probably wouldn't have this been level 1. I probably would have done a little more hallway focused to be level 1. But hey, all things considered, once you get through this, the game does become a little more forgiving, at least in terms of its level design. We only have 8 more bad guys left, so we can find those last ones. I keep hitting the item button when I don't mean to, and also the item only goes in one direction, so you can't like go back if you go over one. You got to go through the whole menu. But yeah, this is the kind of game that I would have loved to have gotten under my tree for Christmas. And I remember when I got Super Nintendo Doom. Oh man, I thought that was the coolest game on earth to get, man. Like Doom on Super Nintendo. And now you look back at it and that game runs bad. It doesn't sound too great, even though it's using a modified version of the Super FX chip, which was the same thing used to power Star Fox. They're using like an advanced version of that, and just because Doom didn't run too great on consoles for a long time. And to see Super Nintendo, 0 enemies remaining, to get a game like Doom on the Super Nintendo for me was still fascinating. I love using that word when it talks about this era, because I really think like seeing the lengths that developers went to make a game like this work on their pieces of hardware really was like, all right, we need to do a lot of shit here to make this work. What sacrifices do we need to make? What kind of concessions need to be made? What needs to be changed from the original version? I love all that stuff. Proceed to the next level. Girl from Ipanema starts playing. Like when you look at Super Nintendo Doom, there's like no floor or ceiling textures. Like with this, you can see the walls, right? The walls have designs on them. There's, that like orange going across it. There's some designs, but the top and the bottom, the floor and the ceiling is just like a gradient. It's just one color kind of going from light to dark. And that's what a lot of games used to do at this time to make that work. Wolfenstein 3D did that, and you look at something like Ultima Underworld, which was a first-person dungeon crawler. That game had way more detail on its floors and ceilings and walls, and with Wolfenstein 3D, they sacrificed that in order to make it run faster than Ultima. And that same principle applied to different console versions of those games. Doom on Super Nintendo does not have floor and ceiling textures, even though it does in the PC version. Certain levels, the architecture is not as tall. Things are slimmed down a little bit. And more importantly, I think, is something with, like, in regard to Wolfenstein 3D, everything being at an angle. Now, this level, you can see there actually is some little extra details, like in the middle. But for the most part, when you are moving around, you're kind of in these boxes, these mazes, right? Wolfenstein 3D, everything was at a 90-degree angle. Everything was squared. At least here, there's some rounded edges, but it's still relatively that maze-like, squared-off structure like you got in games like Wolfenstein 3D. And this game is kind of following up on that. And games like Corridor 7, Operation Body Count, games that were using the Wolfenstein engine, were all doing that as well. And then you have something like Rise of the Triad, which was an advanced version, or I'm saying advanced, but was really pushing the Wolfenstein 3D engine to its limits. Also had more of a skybox, had floor textures, ran really fast, and also that game was supposed to be Wolfenstein 2 at one point, but to see what that game turned into and how it was able to use that Wolfenstein engine to its, basically to its limits, is fascinating. I said that word again. I seriously don't mean to keep saying that, but that's what the word that keeps popping out when I think of this whole era of first-person shooter stuff. But this one does have like a little more detail in its level. It does have a little more detail in its level structure, I should say. but it's still very much, no elevation, no up and down. Everything is flat. And even with this very limited, you can see like that kind of square off there, that rectangle of that little vision square you have, that still needs to be done in order to make it this thing doesn't run too choppy on its hardware. I almost hit the same button to go to my inventory again. Oh boy. Oh, okay. I don't know why I keep hitting the wrong button. I am dead. I'm dead. I'm so dead. Yeah, I know it's critical. I know it's critical. Serious Sam, just don't stop moving backwards. Oh, that went so poorly. Everything about this is bad. Well, we're gonna see other characters. I have played this much better, but this is what I get for talking and playing at the same time. So let's hop on to our next character. Why not? Let's hop into Demolition, because I never really use this character because he starts off with mines, and I feel like I never really have gotten the best hang of how to use the mines. So let's go see how I can do with this character right now. Starting with a pistol, got the shotgun, and I got 2 mines. So let's see how that'll go. Apparently he's a psycho. Captain Hale here is a psycho. That's amazing. Alright, let's try this again. I just keep hitting the wrong buttons. I was playing this game so much better earlier. I promise. I mean it. Okay, let's see here. I seem to do a lot of damage here. I don't know if I cleaned up everything, though. Mine. Holy shit! Excuse me. The dude fried his ass. Holy shit. Alright, I joked, kind of sort of joked, that like, oh, this game's kind of violent. It's kind of cool to see 16-bit violence and how they, translate all that to this hardware. That dude is a cinder. That took me by complete surprise. Holy shit. Zero tolerance rules. Okay, I'm cool. I'm cool. Oh, that got me. Oh, there's the health. Alrighty, let's see.
Medipack collected.
And he's still got shotgun ammo.
Shotgun collected.
God, I can't get over how bad that dude just exploded. Alright, let's see here. We're nearing the end of the... That's getting closer to the... No, the elevator's up on the top corner there. So let's actually clear out this bottom section. There's a better look at the blood dripping down. Man, this game is more, not some silly, silly little blood and over the top, violence here. Like, that was pretty brutal, honestly, that explosion. That really got me. There we go.
Handgun collected. Handgun collected. Handgun collected.
Man, zero tolerance rules.
Shotgun collected. Shotgun collected.
So, talk a little bit about the history of zero tolerance. So, there's this game. This game did officially get released on the Sega Genesis. And there was going to be a sequel. Before we got to the sequel, there was going to be a Sega CD version called Zero Tolerance Underground is what it's called on here. And there was... I'm really curious to see if that game... how much smoother that game was going to run on CD technology. I had a Sega CD. I loved it. I didn't have a lot of games for it, but the games I did have, I played them a ton. But this also would have been cool to have on the Sega CD, because I feel like my dad would have wanted to play it too, because he thought a lot of that CD stuff was just super neat, and to see like a CD drive attached to the Sega, he just like, that's wild. Like, he was more of a PC guy as well, so games like this, were things he... That blew me so far back. It's like a shotgun blast in a John Woo movie. There's so many dudes. Oh, hold on. Okay. Alright, let's do this. What a weird, dumb fucking game this is. Oh, that was so fun. That was satisfying. Alright, time to shotgun this one lone motherfucker to death. Get over here, dude. You're dead now. Oh no, you got a good shot on me. Look at that, dude. Your friend is melting on the floor. Oh man, you've been kicking my ass. Okay. Whew, I'm cool. I'm fine. I'm cool. Oh wow, what a wild game this is. Oh, they all shot me at once. This is why I should not record at 12 a.m., right? I am not all my faculties are here. These eyes aren't working, this brain ain't working, these hands keep hitting the wrong button. Alright, let's go with medical, because this guy can, when he takes health, he at least can get a little more health on him. I'm telling you, I've played this game much better than this. Alright, so here we have the bioscanner. Oh my god, that's the sound it makes when he punches. That's amazing. And the bioscanner now will let us see what's on the map before it sees us. So we know at least there's 5 people in the room right there. Two more. There we go. Much better. Alright, I got full handgun ammo. Some shotgun here. Whoopsie. I know I've just said, like, don't rush. You should not rush headfirst into this. And that's all I've been doing, is rushing headfirst. I am just playing like Garbo right now. Oh boy, oh jeez. My health is already at 42? Boy, I got my butt kicked here. If you like what I do, please subscribe. I'm doing a lot more stuff on YouTube. I'm doing my shorts, where I have one talking about alt-rock in old PS2 games. I'm doing live streams of Red Steel for the Wii. I'm also cataloging my experience playing my first ever Souls-like, the game Mortal Shell. And I'm also going to have a big announcement for a very long stream, a big stream I'm going to be doing sometime in the future. So please subscribe for more. Thank you. Oh god, there we go. 13 monsters left. Oh, also, dudes will get crushed if they're too close to the door, which is great. That's very, very Doom. Because in Wolfenstein 3D, if an enemy died in front of the door would never close, and you can actually use that to your advantage because you can see through the door and just start, you know, popping off on when anyone got in your way. With Doom, the door would close and then would crush whatever corpse underneath it, and then also in Wolf and Doom, if you were in the way of the door, it would not close. But in Daikatana, which was the game made by John Romero, one of the original people behind Doom, he put it in Daikatana that if you are under the door and it closes, it just will crush you. It will take away your health, if not kill you outright. Duke Nukem 3D also has a little thing, but it's more of like a build engine, which is the thing Duke Nukem 3D was built off of, the build engine. There's like a little quirk with that engine where if you are too close to a door and it like closes in such a way, it will automatically kill you. That's something that has always been a weird thing in any kind of build engine game, and Duke Nukem 3D has that. Go to hell. Alright, 10 more left. There we go. That's where you're supposed to do it. Alright, let's see. The last 5 in this section here. I did not mean to jump. But it looked cool when you did it anyway. Wha-bam. Wha-bam. 360 no scope and 0 tolerance. Yeah, Ishii can do this shot from a distance a little better than Wolf can. But that's everybody. So what we're going to do, we're going to head to the elevator, and then we're going to move on to the next zero tolerance game. Aliens ambushed a subway and cut off all transport traffic on Earth. Humanity was able to intercept alien messages about their plan to attack all cities on the planet using the subway system. Clean up the subway and found out how they got there. This is Hell on Earth, Doom 2. Alrighty.
Laser aim gun collected.
Alright.
Aim gun collected.
Okay.
Laser
New
aim
music.
collected. Laser aim gun collected.
Already running a little smoother. Let's do... What is this? Laser aim gun? Yes, please. Oh my god, slopes.
Enter
Stairs. No. Ooh. That.
level 1.
Now that is really cool. Interesting. Oh, Jesus. Oh, whoops, my control mapping is not the same on here. Give me a hot second here. We'll take a look at the other added menu that is in this game. If you hit both of the triggers, you can then go to options, which allow you to adjust how you want the screen to be, any kind of filtering. I think a lot of the filters don't look too great in this game, so I just keep it smooth and into fit, and you can then remap. Oh, hello. This has some added buttons. This is great. Okay. Interesting. All right, so I still want to have my attack button be the right bumper. You can't make it the triggers because hitting the triggers is what opens up this menu. Jump and duck are now separate buttons. Interesting. Sliding left. Oh, I see. Never mind. No, it's best to keep that. Sliding left, sliding right. They actually give you proper strafing. Oh, I am now totally invested. Okay, we got this. All right, let's do it. Okay, I'm now ready for some more zero tolerance here. Let's see how this one goes. Alright, so it's A to shoot now. Because I actually can strafe properly. Oh, that's so great. Okay. Oh, get fucked.
Grenade collected.
Hand grenade. Oh. Oh, yes. Oh boy, howdy. Go to hell. Oh, I missed. Okay. Ooh. This is running much better. Oh, this is going to be great. Oh, I'm definitely going to play more of this.
Hand grenade collected.
Oh, you're still giving me hand grenades the whole time, huh? Well, okay, got it. I really should use hand grenades then.
Laser aim gun collected.
Alright, let's go back to the laser aim gun. Is that supposed to be like the pulse rifle from Alien? Is that like its intention? Oh, this is running so much smoother.
Hand grenade collected.
Oh, this is wonderful. And having proper strafe controls with the bumpers. Ugh. This is how you play this game. Well, hello, advertising. Look. Save. Ugh. Oh, that was brutal. The amount of blood just came off of him. Holy crap. Oh, this is so fast.
Hand grenade collected.
Oh, this is so good. This is my first time playing Underground. I've only played Zero Tolerance Original, so seeing this for the first time has been really great. Oh, where's the guy? There it is. Oh, this is so much better. Just it moves smoother. It has way more, I feel like I'm more in control of things. It feels like, though, enemies are also faster. So that is still kicking my butt.
Laser aim gun collected. Laser aim
Oh, give me that. Oh.
collected.
Oh, I didn't even need help. It just got my bulletproof vest is now gone. Okay. Alright, let's go back to the grenade for a bit. This is so cool. Man, this is really rad. I would have loved to have seen more of this game, whether it had been the sequel, whether it had been this getting a proper release. Oh, really? Whoa, I blew myself up. Zero Tolerance is neat. This is really cool. Like I said, would have loved to have this as a kid. Would have scared the hell out of me, but it would have been super cool to have this as a kid, that's for sure.
Laser aim gun collected. Laser aim gun collected.
Alright, let's see here. Have we cleaned out this whole section? I'm going to assume maybe. 16 monsters to go. Aha!
Laser aim gun collected.
Get out of here, you fools.
Gun collected.
Oh, I'm having a blast with this.
Hand grenade collected. Laser aim gun collected. Laser aim gun collected.
Up. That. Come on. Oh, man. The explosion on the wall. Holy shit. Zero tolerance isn't fucking around. I mean, granted, I should have known that by the time I blew up that dude so hard he turned into, you know, a barbecued steak on the floor.
Laser aim gun collected. Laser aim
Oh, yeah, just more ammo, please. I am just pissing away ammo. I'm barely aiming. Alrighty, let's see. We got this section here now. This, I'm assuming, is going to be the last people here. Is that where I came in? That's where I came in. Oh, another dude.
hand grenade collected. Laser aim gun collected. Hand grenade collected.
Ooh, there's 3 more people left to kill. Where are they? Oh, probably in that room up above.
Zero enemy remaining.
And that's all clear. Alright, here we go. Ooh, health. Definitely thank you.
Floor secure. Medipack collected.
Let's get out of here.
Entering level 2.
That's so cool. Alright, where you at, dudes? There's 81 monsters. Oh, wrong way. Oh, this is the worst when because they're so fast and they circle behind you and you're like, I'm not as fast as you. I gotta start strafing more. Now it's a little easier for me to do it. Maybe that'll help me a bit. This is so much faster, and I feel like I'm actually able to really kind of run. It's still not recommended to rush headfirst into this kind of fight, but the fact that I can, and I can do it with a little more ease, is fantastic. Zero tolerance is so cool.
Medipack collected.
Nope. There we go.
Laser aim gun collected.
Oh. Oh, hit me with a grenade, that motherfucker. Son of a bitch must pay. This is so cool. I know I feel like I've kind of run out of things to say because I'm just so... Like, this is the shit I mean. This is fascinating.
Laser aim gun collected.
Oh my god, it looks so good.
Laser aim gun collected.
Oh. Oh boy, I only got 5 health left.
Gun collected.
Oh, a med pack would be really wonderful right about now. Thank you, game. I am running out of ammo though because I am playing like a dingus. So now it's time for grenades, which means I can't play like a dingus. I'm throwing grenades. That's absolutely the right call. Throw willy-nilly. Nothing will stop me. For I am throwing grenades. Oh shit. Oh dude, leave me alone. Don't hurt me. Okay. You can get this version of Zero Tolerance on modern consoles and on PC. And this is really cool if you want to see an old way of doing this style of game on a piece of hardware that probably should not be able to run this game as well as it does. Because you got to remember, look at Doom 32X. That game ran like garbage. Super Nintendo Doom didn't run too great either, or it sounded bad. At least with Zero Tolerance, they're taking concessions necessary in order to make the game run and look as smooth as it can, and I think it really does work. I like this a lot. and you should go get it when you get a chance. And also, please subscribe to Class Cabinet. There's a ton of video game history coming your way, and thank you for everything.